Good evening. Sorry, I'm on the late side. We just had a couple of technical issues. Right, we'll just give everyone a minute or so to jump on. So this is your Tuesday evening yin yoga session. I'm Jane. Thanks for joining me. And we're going to do a nice session tonight for the kidney meridian. So I'll talk a little bit about that soon. Good evening if you're just jumping on. Sorry, I was a little bit late. I was just sorting out some technical stuff. Just jump on and give me a quick comment if you're there so I know you can hear me. Just let me know if you can hear me and we'll get started. See everything all right? Okay. All right. Come to a comfortable seat. I'll just talk you through our kidney meridian we're going to be looking at tonight for our practice. It's said that the kidney meridian is a root meridian. This is in relation to Chinese medicine, acupuncture and that sort of thing that we run in alignment with in our yin yoga practice. So if the kidney meridian is thriving, is functioning, is flowing, then we're said to be more vibrant. And this sort of root meridian enables everything else to flourish as well. So if the kidney meridian is deficient, then it's really difficult to be thriving or flourishing or feeling good in your body and your energy systems. So we're going to get right into that tonight. And as we sit and pause for these first couple of minutes, I'll also talk you through, guide you where that meridian is so you can feel it in your body. So get comfortable, whether that is seated, kneeling, legs crossed, or even just lying down on your back. Get super comfy, all right? Close your eyes. Pause here. Allow a couple of breaths in a moment to create space. Everything in your day that's led you here is a story. Acknowledge that story. And then allow yourself to land on your mat, on your floor, in your experience. Let me link you the two meridians that we're going to be stimulating this evening. The first meridian begins on the bottom of the feet, just behind the balls of the feet. It curves up along the arch of the foot, the feet, and behind the inner ankles. It travels up the legs into the pelvis and along the spine, spreading out into the kidneys along the way. In the chest, the two meridians meet, and the second meridian spreads out across the front of the chest and along the inside of the arms, wrists, and palms. This meridian ends at the tips of the middle fingers. This meditation along the meridians should be smooth and continuous. Like a boat being carried by a stream, a smooth, calm flow of water. Just let your breath gently guide you from your feet up the legs into the pelvis, into the pelvis, to the kidneys, up the spine, into your heart, your chest. Then sending your breath, your awareness from the chest, along the inner arms, inner wrists, palms, and all the way to the middle fingers. Let your breath be smooth and easy. Once again, let your mind's gaze just wander its way up through those meridians. Never rushed, never forced. Linger where you need to linger. And by focusing on these meridians in a calm, relaxed, and attentive way, this meditation aims to regulate the flow of qi in the channels that support the kidney network. And once you've completed your current round there, your current scan, just pause in your breath in that relaxed state for a moment. And keeping the gaze low, just start to gently blink the eyes open, filtering the light back in. And if you're lying down or kneeling, start to make your way to a comfortable seat. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together here and move into butterfly pose. To access the spine, let us make this shape between the feet and the pelvis nice and spacious. And if you feel tight or unsupported here, feel free to roll up some blankets or lay a couple of blocks underneath the upper legs so that those hips can relax. Use the fingertips here to gently encourage the spine up, the rib cage lengthening away from the pelvis. The neck lengthening away from the ribs. Feel free to stay in this upright position for as long as you need. Or you could start to gently tip forward, keeping that lower back long. Could be just the smallest of movements. You bring the hands in front of you. And then breath by breath, make it a dance, make it a process here. Just start to bow the head and soften the upper back. One of the most beautiful parts of our yin practice is that it's not the end point that we are searching for. It's the journey in between. Let us take the time to notice every breath and to welcome those invitations to explore the pose a little more. If you've got some range there, placing something for the head to rest on, towering some books up. How nourishing does it feel to be supported here? Feel your body being held. Stay for a couple more minutes. Kidneys are regarded as the body's storehouse of essential energy. We need this chi to thrive. Be letting your breath just linger in that kidney area at the base of the back of the ribs. See if you can expand your breath out into that space. Take another lingering breath. Very slowly unravel your way back upright. Pause at the top, feeling into any sensations, acknowledging them. And when you feel ready, just bring the hands behind you, plant the feet flat, Slowly roll the knees from side to side. This may feel good just to go super slow here, or you may prefer to pause on one side for a moment. Awesome. And when you balance the two sides out, come back to the center. Take the legs wide out into your dragonfly pose. So a couple of options there. You could bring one foot in halfway if you prefer. It might just give a little bit more kindness to the inner hips. Otherwise, take the legs wide. No need to force them, just let them be apart in a comfortable place. Be perching up on a blanket here just to help encourage that length in the lower back. And from here, just walk the hands over to your right leg, either side. Feel that subtle twist as the belly button works towards that thigh. And as we feel the weight down in the pelvis, not with force, but just the weight of the bones, and feel that spiraling from the belly button, from the ribs. And very slowly you start to walk and lean in to that point where you start to feel some sensation, some resistance. Breathe there. Listen in, explore when you're ready. Take your time. It may even feel nice to bring a bolster or a couple of cushions up underneath that place between the thigh and the belly, just to feel yourself supported a little. And even though you may not need that extra support, when we give it to ourselves, we all of a sudden witness this internal sigh. And when our body is able to shift into that parasympathetic state, that's when we start to really get the benefits of this practice. The last 5 or so breaths. Maybe you're able to support your head in some way. Continue to explore the depth of your exhales. Almost like a diving. So much space there at the bottom of the breath. Not special space, just for you. And just as slowly as you came in, begin to almost lazily walk your way back in. Our bodies are so fragile as we exit these long holds. Be gentle, be kind. Do anything you need there. Once you're back to center, notice the two sides of the body, not just the back of the leg into the hip, but across and over to that opposing side of the spine, bypassing the kidney area as well, of course. When it feels right, start to spin the belly towards the left leg. Feel that length, that spaciousness in the spine. Feel a sense of lightness, of spaciousness up in the torso. And then feel heavy and anchored through the legs and pelvis. You may stay upright for quite some time here, it's fine. Or if you like, you start to lean in. Lean in and listen. Anytime you feel your mind wandering, just turn your mind's gaze back to that scan of our meridians, and if you missed it right at the beginning of class, just drawing your awareness to the base and the center of the balls of the feet, up into the inner ankles, up the backs of the legs, into your pelvis, up the spine, lingering around the kidneys at the base of the back of the ribs. Continuing up the spine, moving into the front of the chest. From the front of the chest, roll across the collarbones and into the inner arms, inner wrists, the palms, and ending at the tips of the middle fingers. Leave you to breathe into those meridian lines. Maybe linger this time where it feels right to, where there's sensation, or maybe where you feel stuck. And take a load off just a little more, whatever that means for you. Last few breaths here, really dive into those exhales. And then slowly, almost cat-like, walk the hands back underneath you. Return to the center. Pause and feel where you've been. And to complete this little series, we'll come through the middle. So if you've got some cushions, some blocks, some books, bring them in front of you and really pull them back in towards the lower belly there. Lift yourself up and over these supports, using the fingertips as a kickstand to lengthen the ribs away from the pelvis. Legs heavy but relaxed. And then if you can maintain that length, start to walk the hands in front of you. And then slowly and kindly, slowly and humbly, we start to begin that dance into the pose. Notice if there's a little more freedom as you move through the middle. Do you feel less or more restricted? And instead of being attached to any sensations or any endpoints or even any restriction, just allow yourself to return to your breath. And let that breath practice be a practice of patience and presence. And almost sigh into this last breath. And you linger at the bottom. Slowly walk your way back up. Lean your way back into your hands, take a load off. Maybe even give the knees a little squeeze or whatever your body calls for. And then slowly, naturally unravel and move your way around into tabletop position. tabletop here. Just feel those wrists under the shoulders, the knees under hips or thereabouts. Spread the hands, spread your shins. And for a minute or so here, just let yourself move intuitively. And that might be something as simple as the breath. And there may be some traditional cat-cow, a side-to-side action, like myself. Or even some circles through the hips. Let the movement be natural and guided by intuition. Let's just gently nourish and mobilize the spine. And taking these next couple of rounds of breath to balance out any movements there. And then just gently slip your way down onto your stomachs. Take a moment there and just feel that extension for the spine. And for some, this might be enough extension today. Just considering what's going on for you in your lower back. But if it calls you to, so if you're on your stomach, you could just bring your foreheads resting on the hands, the backs of the hands, or start to move your way into Sphinx pose. So don't be too worried about where the elbows go. You might walk them out quite a wee way and just focus around the heart space there on diving down through the ribs. But to really target this kidney meridian, consider moving more into the lower back today. Decide whether it feels right to plug into the forearms and slide the shoulder blades down. Really lead from the heart space. Or it may feel better to just soften and drop those shoulders forward a little. Explore where the head wants to be, down or up. Looking for sensation in the lower back, around the SI joint or up in the lumbar spine. It's okay to feel things there. Just try not to get overwhelmed by fear, as the out of balance manifestation of the kidney energy is fear. And create instead a nice safe space for yourself to explore this beautiful back bend. If it feels right to, for the last minute or so, you walk the hands and the feet towards the outer edges of your mat and move up into seal pose. Feel free to stay in Sphinx if you prefer. And let your breath flow where the sensation goes. Take another deep breath into your belly, into your lower back. And then just sigh your way back down onto your stomach. Feel the full support of your floor, your mat. Spread your body out. When it feels right, move back into child's pose for a couple of breaths as a way to counter that back bend. And nice and easy, walk your way up onto your knees. We'll set up for saddle pose. Again, this will look different for all of us. So in that kneeling position, you might hug your heels into the outer hips and walk your way back. Now lengthen your tailbone towards the knees. And you might use a bolster or a bunch of cushions and a block for the back of your head. I'll give you some options in a moment to support something similar. Now, depending where the restriction is for you, you might want to roll a blanket up between and then into the knee crease to take some pressure off there. Or if that's still not working, go ahead and extend one leg. And I'll tell you when we're halfway to swap over. So again, just want to feel that lower back supported by something. Just make it a process of dropping back into the support behind you. Again, you may feel some compression into the lower back. As long as it's not sharp pain, just see if you can ride those waves of sensation with your breath. There are many things that can physically hold us back in this pose. Our ankles, our knees, our hips. But giving ourselves support to move into any variation of this pose. Can be super beneficial. Notice the strong opening for the entire front line of the body, from the tops of the feet, up the fronts of the legs, into the fronts of the hips, the belly, the heart, the fronts of the shoulders. A lot of these areas we tend to close off. Be patient as you drop in, and breath by breath as our body starts to respond, we start to witness this beautiful unraveling. If you're in the single leg option, just start to make your way up, swap the legs over, and move your way back. Let your breath just gently massage the lower back, the kidney area. Feel those opportunities, whether they're physical or energetic, to spread out, to drop in every exhale. And acknowledging the length of time you've been in here, just start to press into the forearms. Maybe bring the chin into the chest. Like you're moving in slow motion, start to walk your way back up. Feel free to stay upright, or if it calls you to, just walk your way back forward into child's pose. Just to pause and absorb. Let your breath be unrestricted. And it gently massage those areas of sensation. And nice and slow, start to make your way back up. Bring the legs out in front of you. And slowly make your way down onto your back. Bring your knees with you. Just loosely hold on to your knees, your shins. Tuck your chin in, slide your shoulder blades down a little. Maybe just gently guide a little circles or side to side action with the knees. Just massaging out that sacrum. After creating some compression in here to the lower back. In that passive way, stimulating those energy channels through the lower back. Balance any movements out these next couple of breaths. And keeping that lower back nice and heavy. Start to separate the knees, either holding the shins here or searching for the feet and moving the knees towards the floor into happy baby. Again, tuck the chin to keep the back of the neck long. Maybe guiding your body through a gentle sway from side to side. Just feeling into that stimulation through the inner legs, the backs of the legs, and deep down into the pelvis. Up into the lower back where there's pressure. Breathe into your kidneys. Last minute here. Are you able to let the shoulders fall back towards the floor? And nice and easy, start to bring the feet towards each other. Just landing here for another minute or so. Just pulling the big toes towards the face. Sitting with any effort you're experiencing for just a few more breaths. Take another sweet, sweet breath. And slowly supporting those feet back to the earth. Take them towards the outer edges of the mat. Just start to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Again, make that a very slow movement, or it may feel better to move a little faster. Just listen. Your inner knowing will guide you. Take another breath or two there to balance any movements. And then scoot the hips over to the left. Let your knees fall to the right for a supine twist. Take any variation that feels good. Or just stack the knees, maybe placing something under the knees or between them. Let the arms either fall to the sides or even into a cactus shape to stimulate those inner arms. Nestle your shoulder blades in. Let your head fall wherever it feels good. Surrendering the weight of your body to the support of the earth. Know that it's got you. Allow yourself to be just a little vulnerable at this time. Unclench your jaw. Soften your face. And come home to that internal landscape of your body. Feel the sensations that are there. Your breath, your heart. As you feel ready, just transition your way over to the other side. As little disruption as possible. let yourself be almost wrapped up in the warmth of your breath. Like it's enveloping your entire body. Really dive into these last couple of breaths. Linger in your exhales. And once you feel balanced and ready, start to recenter yourself on the mat and prepare for Shavasana. Placing a bolster or some cushions under your knees, letting the arms rest wherever it feels nourishing. You're placing a light piece of clothing over your eyes. Allow yourself this time for full relaxation. It's a time for your body to absorb its practice. For you to feel the effects. Maybe allowing your mind's gaze to run through those meridians once again. Maybe noticing just a little more sensation or chi, energy in these areas. I invite you to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as possible, to absorb, to soak up your practice and really gain those benefits. I'm going to leave you here to rest. Take care. Namaste.